Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
9.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, celebrating the Big 5-0. And you can celebrate with us. We have got a lot of great 50th anniversary merchandise on sale right now at the KISW Rock Shop. Oh, man. Steve, what do you want? We got it.
I want a beanie.
All right, we got it.
I want a trucker cap.
You know what, sir? We got it.
I want one of them T-shirts that's that nice soft fabric that feels good on my skin.
Okay. Yeah, we got it. Nice. Yeah, I told you we got it all at the KISW Rock Shop, and it's got the golden 50th anniversary logo, the rock logo in that glittery gold, because 50 is the color of gold, and you can get it. Steve can get it. You can get it. Anybody can get it. Shop today at KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs. It's time to play the jam. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs. And it's time to turn down for tequila.
Charge down for what?
Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday Tequila Day.
Yeah, tequila on Tuesday. Have some fun with that.
I see what you did there.
Let's get to our contestant. We got Tyler in Tacoma. Tyler, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, boys.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. Get out. For those playing at home, Tyler will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Tyler, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
In the tale Jack and the Beanstalk, what did Jack trade for magic beans?
A donkey.
No.
A horse.
No.
A cow.
Yes. Good job. The fast food chain Popeyes was founded in what U.S. state?
Louisiana.
Yes. What does the S stand for in the agency OSHA?
Safety.
Yes. Flava Flav was a part of what rap group?
Best.
On what continent was fondue invented?
Germany.
No.
Europe.
Yes. In what year of the late 2010s did Jerry Lewis pass away?
2012.
No.
13.
No.
14.
No. How many teaspoons are in 10 tablespoons?
6.
No.
4.
No.
30.
Yes.
Nice
What was
call.
the first brand of toothpaste to be sold in tubes rather than jars?
Colgate.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Man,
He didn't get to all the questions, but the ones that he did get to, he answered most of them correctly. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That last one the second to last one he got, I was like, he's never getting it. And then he throws that out there. I'm like, all right.
I know, it came out of nowhere. He's playing the old Steve game there, where all of a sudden he's giving some weird answers, and then boom, he gets it. Boom,
beating Steve at his own game.
We'll have to see if that happens. Steve, are you ready?
I want to do a quick shout out.
Nice.
Doing this one for Stone Cold Steve Austin, because today is March 16th. So happy 3/16, everybody out there.
Give it a shout.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Steve said so.
Nice.
That's right. Or Stone Cold. But
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
Little Stone Steve.
Yeah. I was trying to say I'm Stone Steve, but then I realized his name is Steve as well, so that just sounded stupid.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't let that stop you, buddy.
It never has.
Yeah. Come on, keep going. Keep the dream going.
In the tale Jack and the Beanstalk, what did Jack trade for magic beans?
Rocks.
No.
His sexual favors.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He traded sheep.
No.
A cow.
Yeah.
Damn
Too
it.
late.
The fast food chain Popeyes was founded in what U.S. state?
Louisiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
What,
That hurt me.
what does the S stand for in the agency OSHA?
Safety.
Yes. Flava Flav was a part of which rap group?
Public Enemy.
Yes. On what continent was fondue invented?
Europe.
Yes. In what year of the late 2010s did Jerry Lewis pass away?
2018.
No.
2017.
Yes. How many teaspoons are in 10 tablespoons?
100.
No.
69.
No.
Okay, then.
40.
No.
Oh.
What was the first brand of toothpaste to be sold in tubes rather than jars?
I didn't even know they did that, but Colgate?
Yes. Who was
Colgate?
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 Who was the first? Who was the fourth president of the United States?
Adams.
No.
Damn it.
Neither of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tie.
Stupid cow.
Stupid cow.
Nice work, Taylor. Or Tyler. Nice work, Tyler.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take it easy, buddy. There we
Yeah,
go.
I felt like Adams would be a pretty decent guess because there's two of them.
Yeah.
No.
No, unfortunately not. One of the ones that we were talking about where Tyler just kind of pulled it out of, where he said he was going with like 4 and 6 teaspoons to 10 tablespoons, and then threw out 30, which was correct.
Yeah.
You were very close with the 40 there.
40.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing that there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. You just wouldn't think 3 would be the amount.
Exactly on that.
Yeah.
The only other one that you did not get correct, who was the 4th president of the United States? Anybody know this?
Was that Tommy the J?
No, he was the 3rd.
Oh, I was so close.
Very, very close.
Oh, then it was Jimmy the Jimmy the G. No?
Taft.
Well, not Taft. You were kind of close with the Jimmy there.
Oh, James Hudson.
James Carter.
Yeah, James Hudson. James Hudson's a board game designer, but anyway.
James Hudson, which is a board game designer.
Yeah.
Steve, which he just yelled at Jimmy Carter,
Yes.
which was in the 70s, which would not
he
be
was
the 4th.
president. Boy, he's amazing. He's looking really good for our 4th president.
They realized that he was so good, they said, you know what, you're part of the original 4.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, no, it would be James Madison.
That too.
Oh, was he Dolly's dad?
Dolly Madison?
I don't know. I just feel like they got cakes
Holly.
named after her.
Holly Madison?
Holly Madison's a whole different
Playmate.
cake. Yeah.
You guys are just throwing out names now. I don't even know what the hell's going
Is
on.
he Billy Madison's grandpa?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, great-great-grandfather, I believe.
I believe that there is a connection between James Madison and Dolly Madison.
Is that the ice cream lady?
Yeah, who the hell is Dolly Madison?
The cakes. She makes the snack cakes. Dolly Madison, I thought, right? No,
She makes cookies. Yeah, you're right.
That's a name I've never heard in my entire life.
That is actually the name of his wife.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
okay,
then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I thought that's what I think
right,
Dolly was like a good cook or something, or at least she was inspired with tasty treats. I don't know.
I thought you were making a joke about Dolly Parton or something like that.
I really wasn't.
No,
No,
it was a Hostess brand. They were owned by Hostess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And BJ, you are that hostess aficionado here.
Listen,
so.
when it comes to snack treats that I probably shouldn't be having too much of, I know my stuff.
Right. Well, congratulations on everyone for tying and for BJ knowing about all the snack cakes.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Good old Dolly Madison.
Stupid cows.
According to Wikipedia, they did name Dolly Madison after his wife, although they spelt it differently. But that's Wikipedia.
You mean they named the cakes and all the snacks after his wife.
Yep.
Oh, so she wasn't responsible for like these recipes.
No, it looks like it's just the name.
I got some of my First Lady cookies. Would you like to try some?
I mean, that's an odd thing. You know, it's an odd thing. It's just like if they just come out and said, okay, you know what? I mean, here we go. Here's Jill Biden snacks. I'd be like, well, why is she a great baker? You know what I mean? There's like, if she's not known for being a great baker, why would you name a bunch of snacks after somebody?
Because it's a cute name.
Yeah, you know, Dolly Madison is a cute name, Vicky. I'm going to give you that. You know, yeah, it's a good point.
And then lots of celebrities, they put their name on things that necessarily they don't really have anything to do with. I mean,
well,
George
I don't know.
Foreman didn't really make a grill.
Are you sure? George Foreman looked like the kind of guy that loved to grill, though. You know what I mean? It seems legit to me that George Foreman would say, yes, I want my own grill. You know what I mean? He looks like the grilling kind of guy.
But I doubt he went into his garage and said, I'm going to make myself a grill, and then someone bought the rights to his grill.
Yeah, I don't. I wonder if Dolly really liked a lot of sweets. Maybe, you know, I mean, there's got to be some reason, and unless Vicky's right, unless people decide, hey, this is a great name. We love the name Dolly Madison. We're going to make treats after it.
And someone said Dolly Madison. I used to hear those commercials, or the commercials during Charlie Brown specials when I was a kid.
Yes. Oh yeah. Ah, so good. Very tasty. All right. Well, there you go.
The cookies, not Dolly Madison.
Yeah. Well, thank you for clearing that up because people think I'm old enough that it could very well have been an illicit relationship between me and the First Lady of the fourth president. Yes. Kenan Thompson, you know that guy. He was being interviewed by Conan, and I have to tell you, man, it is amazing how long Kenan has been in the public eye. It's like I forget. I mean, it seemed and the guy doesn't seem to me like to age a lot. So I forget that he was very, very young, like a teenager when he was on those Nickelodeon shows. Because he just, you know, I mean, he still doesn't seem very old to me. And
I only know, I didn't know him from any of the Nickelodeon shows. Like that wasn't in my world, but I just know him as the master of the knuckle puck, and he was in the Mighty Ducks Part 2.
Yeah, and I've known him. I knew him because my kids used to watch all those shows growing up on Nickelodeon. So that's how I knew Kenan. And then, of course, you know, he's had that gig on SNL for such a long time. But yeah, he was on all that. He was on Kenan and Kel, of course, and he shared a very fun story about because I mean he had fame at a very, very young age, and he shared this story about a time where he actually did try to get recognized, and he failed.
It was a slower journey than you would imagine because, you know, Nickelodeon was pretty much still just a cable channel. Basically, those who had cable, you still had to be a kid. So it wasn't like I was running into a lot of kids unless I went to like Chuck E. Cheese or something. Like there was a year or two where I couldn't go to Chuck E. Cheese, and I was like, all right, you know, I'm pretty popular. Like, you know, I'm doing pretty good out there. Stay away from those Chuck E. Cheeses.
He was Chuck E. Cheese famous. Chuck E. Cheese famous.
He's absolutely right because I remember that, you know, it would just be my generation of parents that, you know, got the cable networks and made sure we had them because it kept our kids entertained. I mean, it's what my kids loved, all those Nickelodeon shows.
So what the hell was all that? Like, I don't even know.
It was basically SNL for kids.
Yeah.
And so wasn't Kenan and Kel also that?
Yeah, they're kind of like, they had their own skit. It was Kenan and Kel, and they worked in Good Burger. And so they were, you know, restaurant. They made their own movie based off of that. They were employees at a restaurant, fast food place.
But then Kenan and Kel was like, it was kind of more like a Family Matters type of show, but like more like sketch comedy. Like,
yeah, they spun off.
Yeah, they had a family, and, you know, Kenan's family, and Kel would always come over. He was kind of like the Steve Urkel. It was a good show. I loved that show. And it went on forever.
Yeah, it was pretty popular, and I don't know so much what's happened to Kel. I remember he was in Mystery Men. That was the last big thing I remember seeing him in, which was a movie about a bunch of bad superheroes, and he played a character that he could turn invisible, but only if you weren't looking at him. And it was a good role for him, and that's the last thing I remember Kel's done. I don't know what else he's been in since then.
Sweet, he voices Tiny P and Mr. P in VeggieTales.
Oh, that's cool. So he's doing voice work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And he came back because they tried to do like a resurgence of all that semi-recently, and like with Nickelodeon coming, Teen Nick and whatnot. And I feel like he was a big part of that.
He does a lot of voice work, it seems, and also raps.
Oh, all right. Well, you know, good for him, man. You know, I mean, I like Danny said, man, they were super popular for you know, Danny's demographic and Vicky's demographic growing up. And so, you know, I often hope that Kel was doing some good stuff, obviously, since Kenan's had a really good career on Saturday Night Live. So that's cool. It's good to know he's doing stuff.
But it seems like Kenan definitely has had the more a better run in the world of Hollywood.
And I'll tell you, after seeing Mystery Men, of course, I was watching that movie. I thought Kel was going to be the guy that was destined to do a lot more in Hollywood. I really felt like, oh, okay, this is the first movie I've seen one of those two be in that was like, he was acting along some really good guys, Jeffrey Rush and Hank Azaria and Ben Stiller and the guy William
H. Macy.
Thank you. So he was in a movie with a lot of like superstar actors, and I thought this could be great if this kid does a good job, around all these people. He's going to get a lot of acting work. And at that time, I hadn't seen much of Keenan outside of Nickelodeon. And you're right, Steve. It's flipped over, and it's turned out to be the other way.
And BJ, he did on the Conan show. He had a pretty funny story though when he actually did go somewhere intentionally trying to be recognized, and it didn't work out for him.
I remember there was a very specific day in my memory that me and Kel got up. We were like, let's go to the mall, man, and see if anybody will recognize us, because we've been putting in work for one season on each show. People should recognize and give up some high fives. And we stood in the middle of the mall for about an hour, I'd say, just kind of watching people go back and forth, and then grabbed an Orange Julius, I think, and kind of just left.
Oh, that's fantastic. Back to the Chuck E. Cheese we go.
You're trying let's go to the mall. Everyone's going to know who we are. And nobody says hello to them.
You know what? I would have done the same thing. Again, when you're a young person like that and you've got that, why wouldn't you do that? Who doesn't want to be the king of the mall, when you're young like that and nothing at all.
That's the saddest, don't you know who I am? And everyone's like, no, we don't know who you are.
Really. Here's your Orange Julius, sir. Now get out of here. We got more people in line.
So that drink's going to cost you $3.99.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, there is a great list of unwritten rules that everyone should follow. And I'll tell you what they are at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Now, from time to time, we got to do stuff like this. BuzzFeed just put out a list of unwritten rules that everyone should follow. You know me, I love rules that should be followed. You know my communication rules.
You create your own rules, yes.
Yeah. Well,
so I wonder if these fall in line with your rules.
Yeah. We'll see, because I think rules are good, because every once in a while people go, really? I should do that? It's like, yeah, you think it would be common sense, but apparently not. So here are some unwritten rules that you should follow. And I like a lot of these. The one that I really like is don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of an aisle. Move it to the side when you're in the supermarket, because they're getting those aisles, they're just like narrower and narrower in those supermarkets.
See, I was even going, first when you said shopping cart, I'm thinking, put the damn shopping cart back where the shopping cart belongs when you unload everything into your car. Like, it's not that. They've done a pretty good job of creating little stations for these shopping carts that make you so you don't have to walk a mile. You have to walk maybe a little bit. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but don't be that douche.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Steve.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah, and for me, I'm always like, look, man, I got to get my steps in, so I usually bring it all the way back to the store. But you're right. If you don't have time or you're really tired, they have, plenty of stations around. Every place does it.
And I get kind of crazy with that stuff. Look, if you just get it into the little station spot where it is in the parking lot, that's great. I like to actually make sure like it's in an orderly sense, push it in so it makes it easier for the person who has to collect them later.
Well, that was my old job, so that's exactly what I think.
That's true, because I've done that before as well.
Yeah. So, when you're the cart kid, boy, it really stinks when they're all over the place. It's like, man, how difficult is it? Just put it all together, and then I can just zing it back in really easily. Thanks for that. I'm always impressed with the Costco cart people. I don't think I ever could have done that job. They're bringing up, it seems like a row of 100 at a time, and they got that long tether thing. And I know I would have injured people if that was me doing that in my younger days.
Do you ever just stand there and kind of watch them and like try and figure out exactly how they're pulling that off?
Yes.
I've done that before. I'm like, wow, man, they got really good control of that damn shopping cart.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people running in and out of that entrance of a Costco, so it's like, how they don't hit more people is pretty impressive.
And those are like monster truck shopping carts.
Yes, they are. Yeah, that's why it's like, it's nuts that they can take so many up there because, those things they're not light on their own, let alone put 20 together like they have. How do they even get... they're superhuman, those card collectors. They're the true heroes right there.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So we got a lot more on this unwritten rules list that BuzzFeed put out. And these are unwritten rules that everybody should follow. And we want to know, what would you add to this list of unwritten rules that everybody should follow? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What is an unwritten rule that you believe everybody should follow? Your calls, your texts, after 3 doors down on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. BuzzFeed just put out a list of unwritten rules that everyone should follow. Based on this, what would you add to the list? What is an unwritten rule everybody should follow? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Daniel in McKenna. Daniel, you are on The Rock.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good morning, Daniel. What you got for us, buddy?
So I go out of my way to thank servicemen and women, our police officers and search and rescue, firefighters, all those people that put their lives on the line for us. So I just think everyone should also do the same, because these guys and ladies have a hard job, and a little thank you goes a long ways.
I gotta be thinking, at least for people like definitely police people, man, because they don't always get they just don't get regarded well a lot of times, especially in this part of the country. So I bet it's really nice when somebody does come up to them and say, "Hey, man, thanks, thanks for what you do."
I also throw the streetwalkers in Aurora into that mix as well.
Because they're
cold out.
Yeah,
it's cold. It is chilly.
Right. And those poor ladies are out there in their bomber jackets and mini skirts and sometimes no shoes. And
bomber jackets and mini skirts?
Really? Is that the look these days?
It was 30 years ago.
To be honest with you, that's the last time I remember seeing. And it was when I first moved out here. And I'm like, that's an interesting look. And then I realized rather quickly, yeah, she works hard for her money.
Yeah, they got to bring that back. Bomber jackets and mini skirts and no shoes. Think that. Yeah, I might start rocking that. Why not?
Oh, please don't.
Come on, I got to find my own unique look. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Again, BuzzFeed's got the list of unwritten rules. What do you think is an unwritten rule everybody should follow?
This text message. I like this one. And I'm with this person. Wave when when someone lets you in while driving. It's a simple thing.
Yeah, it is. Do you think they can see through my rearview window? Because sometimes, when you're driving, it's to lower that window and this and that. I just think, what a pain in the neck. But I just wave over my head, in the back of my head, hoping that people can see through my rearview window that I'm waving. Because I can see people, in the car in front of me.
Yeah, I would imagine they can. I think it's just a common courtesy, but sometimes it's so funny because I'll let anybody in. If someone puts their directional on, and I'm like, all right, slow down, let them in. Like, that's kind of the point. And if they don't wave, though, I instantly hate that person dead. I'm like, it's like from 0 to 60 fast. Like, I'm just like, all right, that son of a bitch. And my wife will be like, what? I'm like, they didn't wave. You're like, well, it's not like required. I'm like, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I agree. I like this one to list.
Speed up and cut them off and flip them off. No, I don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's just what you do if you don't get a wave. Someone at BuzzFeed, they said, if someone hands you their phone to show you a picture, don't look at other photos. Yeah. I mean, you just... I don't even like touching other people's phones, really. I just rather have them show me a picture and then very quickly and be done with it. When they go, hey, or check it out, I'm like, the bacteria, okay.
Oh, prior to COVID, though, I mean, would you grab somebody's phone and look through it?
No, because I just know what my phone's like, and it's like sometimes I'm going, oh, this is and I've read plenty of articles long before about like it's worse than just taking a swim in a toilet.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm all for that one. 206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. How about you, Vic? You have to have rules because I know you like things a certain way in life.
Yes, and I have no problem letting anybody borrow my car, and if they're a little hard on money, I don't even mind that they don't fill it up with gas. The only thing I require is if I'm driving or you borrow my car and you get coffee or whatever, you take that garbage with you.
Oh, they don't?
I've had a few people in my life, they leave it behind or they leave it in the back seat. I'm like, what is this?
Wow,
this is not okay.
That explains why they don't have their own car. I just feel like when you see that, it's like indicative of that. This is why you're a loser. You don't have anything because you don't have any respect for anything, and this is why you've got nothing, and you just glom off of people. And like Steve, I think we should cut them off in traffic.
I had somebody that would do it. I did it more as just a joke because I realized it was still in the back seat and I was seeing them again. They have like their fast food thing in the back. And it's like, when I first saw them, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was going to see that person at their place. So I just brought it until they opened up their door. I'm like, here, you left this in my car.
Oh, good call.
They're like, really? I'm like, well, I just noticed it. I wanted that in my car. It wasn't like really like pining at the opportunity to do it, but it was more just that kind of F with them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think that's, look, especially, amongst your bros, it's like, all right, you're going to be this idiot, I'm going to be an idiot back. And what are you going to say? You can't get mad at somebody for like punking like that, Steve. I couldn't be like, yeah, I'm an idiot.
I like this one, and I 1,000% agree. People should park straight into the center of that parking space. Sometimes people do like the diagonal park because they don't want someone really to park next to them, or they're in a rush, quote unquote, so they don't have the extra 4 seconds just to straighten it out.
Yeah, and there are people that just can't judge very well. I mean, Sarah is for all the years of driving, Sarah cannot just figure out how to pull into a space the first time and be lined up. So at least she spends a lot of time going backward and forward until she figures it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen where I didn't realize, and I get out of my car and I'm about to walk away and I'm like, man, I parked like a douche, and I get back in the car and fix it.
The only thing I hate about doing that is when people get really impatient and you're trying to fix your parking spot and they don't want to wait for you, so they'll drive behind you, making it so you almost hit them. Like, I don't get why people are in such a rush or get so frustrated when someone's trying to do something nice.
I need to get to Target quick.
It's like,
that's right.
They're going to run out of everything.
That's right. You see the toilet paper.
Yeah,
Come on, lady. I can't wait for you to figure out how to park.
Did I notice your daughter's in the room?
Oh, that's lovely.
My rule would be keep your damn dog on a leash, okay? At the park, when I'm hiking, I don't care how cute you think your dog is. Not everyone's going to think it's that adorable or want it all up in their grill. And people everywhere just have them off the leash all the time. And there's like a designated area for off-leash parts, I
couldn't agree with you more, and I'm a dog person, and it drives me insane when somebody just thinks, oh, my dog's fine. And it's like, especially now having a kid, we've had that happen. We're going for a walk, and this big-ass dog comes running over, and they're like, oh, he's playful, just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if your dog gets any closer to my child, I don't want to kick your dog, but I'm going to.
Right?
To keep your damn dog on a leash.
Yeah, you understand that, Steve, and I appreciate that because you are a dog owner. You love dogs because I always look like well, you hate dogs. That's why I don't understand why people don't realize that these creatures could do damage, and not everybody loves them, and there's a leash law for a reason because you can't control them. You don't have mind control. You're not going to be able to stop a dog from flipping out. Dogs sometimes flip out, and that's why you got to keep them on a leash. I get so frustrated, and I had a situation like you called, Steve, where it did go after a baby. And I actually had to intervene. I couldn't believe it. I think I sprained my back doing it because I had to run down there because I saw this poor girl. She's like trying to figure out like, what am I going to do? I got the baby. The dog's jumping all over me. And she was about to drop her own kid because the dog was leaping all over her. And And I laid into the and it was an older woman who she just had this look on her face like, I'm just too lazy to keep my dog on a leash.
I told you were a hero, BJ.
I was a hero. I mean, I pulled every muscle that I had because I don't move like that. You can't expect me to run. But it was a beating. The woman would not take accountability. It's like, dude, you almost got this baby hurt because you didn't control your dog, which is what you're supposed to do. There are signs everywhere. Yeah. So anyway, that's a good one.
Oh, I did. It's one unwritten rule. Radio people should not talk over the beginning of a song. Dude, was it Smash Mouth? That was the one that went on Twitter. And
they did.
Dude,
and
yes.
they bitched about it. And it's funny because, like, for inside the world of radio, people were just imploding about that. Like, we're butthurt. They're like, how dare Smash Mouth do that? And I'm like, whatever, who cares?
I'm gonna let people go behind the curtain a little bit because
let them behind the curtain, BJ.
I'm gonna let them behind the curtain because it's very, very frustrating. The reason our business started doing that was because everybody who's a music person, by the way, it's always the music people who go, I don't like to hear anything but the music. Why do you even have to speak? Why does it have to even be a disc jockey? Why do you have to say anything? It's like, go get yourself an iPod and leave me alone. Go get yourself an iPhone and leave me the frig alone. I've always hated that music dude that doesn't want to hear any humans at all. We started talking over music because there were so many so-called complaints that, you know what, all I hear is talk, 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 play the music. So it's like, okay, well, we still have to come on and tell you what station it is. So we then started playing these long intros so that we at least would have some music so you know that it was coming, so you wouldn't be crying about all the talk. But you can't win with these idiots. And so I've been in the mindset, who is it? That texter, the person said that's an unwritten rule? I've got an unwritten rule. Go listen to another station and don't ever bother me again. That's my unwritten rule.
Hey, wow.
Because we can't make those people happy.
I think it's just funny.
It's been over 30 years of my career hearing it, Steve.
I know I hear it all the time, too.
Yeah,
it's funny because, as a kid, I remember listening to the radio and the DJs would talk over the song. And I'll never forget, there's one song that, remember that? I Love L.A., that stupid song?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to record songs off of the radio, make mixtapes. Like, that was because that was just how you did it. Well, more often than not, the DJ talking over the song was part of the mix. And so I only knew the songs, like, I would memorize what they were saying. That was like part of the song to me. It was like, hey, it's Flashy Johnny, and it's 6 o'clock, and here's an I Love L.A. on WF yourself, you know? It's like
that's my favorite station, by the way.
But that was like a big part of it. And I think it's funny seeing some of these bands being like, I'm mad at radio, even though all they want is us to play their music, and like behind the scenes we'll constantly badger like our people that are in charge of picking the songs. But you know, in the face of the world, they go on social media and be like, screw radio for talking over our songs. It's our art. It's like, you know, when you want people to buy the song so they can hear it just the way that it is anyway.
That's a really good call. Yeah. And we're sorry, by the way, for promoting your song for free. You're absolutely right. We're horrible people. Let's go to Karen. Karen in Tacoma, you are on the rock.
Hi, how are you guys this morning?
Good, Karen. What about you? What's an unwritten rule that everybody should follow?
Let the elders in front of you in line.
I'm 100% behind that.
Disabled, elderly.
Yeah. Well, you know, in my case, just let me in front of you in line. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll definitely be the elder.
Yeah. Let me. I'm elder now. I'm the elder statesman. I should be in front of every line.
How do you offer that without insulting somebody?
Oh, you'll never insult me, Vicky. Anybody that gets insulted being let in front of the line is an idiot because you're being let in front of the line. I mean, why would you take that as an insult? I mean, so you'll never insult me. Please tell me I'm old and give me my discount and let me in front of the line. Hey, if you want to put me in a wheelchair and just wheel me around everywhere, I'm all for this. I cannot wait for this. There's no insult.
Here's the question. You have a seat. One seat's available. Of course, you're going to give it up to an old person. But what if a pregnant person comes in? What comes first, pregnant person or old person?
Oh, pregnant person.
I look like a pregnant person, so I think I still get the seat.
So the pregnant old person, like
DJ.
Fair.
Exactly. Jeez. I still think I win.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, that's the best rule ever. I think of all the rules we came up with, that's the best one. Thank you, Karen. Oh, that's fantastic. Another one here is don't start drama at a funeral or a wedding, and don't propose at a wedding. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's tacky. I don't understand anybody who would propose at a wedding and not expect any fallback.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And yet people just, again, they get emotional or they have a little beverage, and the beverage and the emotion, either because you're really sad at the funeral or you're really jealous at the wedding, and then it's the alcohol starts flowing, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, we are not in the appropriate place for you to be this kind of idiot, but here you go.
And also to piggyback on the funeral one, don't go up to a child and say, hey, one day your dad's going to die too, so cheer up. That's happened at a funeral
That's oddly
once.
specific, Mr. Miggs.
That happened at my grandfather's funeral.
What the hell, man?
My dad almost beat this guy and his family up because he came over and he goes, you're sad, aren't you? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, death is something that we all have to deal with. One day your father is going to die.
How old are you?
I don't know, maybe 10 or something like that, 10 or 11.
Jeez.
And my dad's like, why are you crying? Like, I was crying a little bit harder than before. And I'm like, well, you're going to die. And he's like, who said this? And I'm him.
Forget about it now. Oh, you don't tell your father these things that back in those days. He beats up Santa Claus. You don't tell him who the villains are.
Well, he asks the questions, I give the answers, BJ. I was in an emotional state. I thought my dad was about to die.
Oh man. Now, your father with that kind of information is a loaded cannon.
It was great.
Oh, man. Yeah, the funeral turned into be like a wrestling event. You probably love that. Oh, man. We got people that are admitting to calling customer service, and it's not even because they need help with something. So then why are they calling customer service? I'll tell you why at 7:49 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to see my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.